inside that place.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're inside the ship. And it was they have a statue of Lemmy there.
Yeah.
And
one of the greatest bass players.
I mean, he's awesome.
Strings.
Yeah. So he just, it's very historic in all that area.
Yeah.
We made it out. I mean, just to look. We made it out to Dave Grohl's studio outside.
Sound City?
Well, Sound City is another one. That's where Dave Grohl did
he did the documentary. Okay.
Right. So, like, Tom Petty recorded there.
Right.
Just a bunch of awesome bands recorded there.
Mm-hmm.
And but we actually went to Dave Grohl's studio and hung out outside of it. And it's just like a warehouse area. But it was so cool to be at places where you only think about them like as is unattainable spot in the world.
I know
like,
what you mean, yeah.
I don't know how to best describe it. Like, to be, the other, even more so, it was like we went a rock school for kids where Claudio's daughter goes to, and Dave Grohl's daughter goes to that school.
Wow.
So he knows the teacher that teaches his daughter, and he knows like all these people, and you go there and there's like pictures of Dave Grohl, things that are signed, and it was just so awesome. And to see them give that opportunity to their kid, to like be able, I mean, like, imagine growing up with that kind of opportunity. I think I heard on your podcast with Jeremy, where Jeremy goes, if I was younger, I would have moved out to LA, blah, 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 right? That's them doing this for her, So it's super awesome that she's getting...
Well, you and I know that she is a great guitar player and singer.
And plays bass. And
How
really
old is
good.
she?
She's 12 now.
That's
yeah,
right.
So
we knew her years ago when...
She is going to blow up at one point, and we're just like, remember, Uncle Rico back then? So it's so cool that, to be in that spot and be in those areas and be able to see what's going, like, be there yourself, and it's not that unattainable. You can be there, and it's amazing. It's very inspirational. It was inspirational, if anything. So I had an awesome time. I can't, and it also makes you see that you got to really make what you can with where you are, or if you can't, then pack it up and go where you want to be at, and live your dream and do what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I like about Garage to Nowhere, what they're doing, is they're creating this scene that it's not really a together thing like they have in L.A.
Right.
And they're creating this environment.
I've saw some bands, and I talked to Claudio about some bands over there, and some great bands. And I was like, but we also have such an amazing talent here locally that I don't think we should be jealous of anything that's going on over there. We have just as much talent, if not more.
Well, what they have that we don't have
is the scene. Yeah.
Well, they have people in the industry that'll pop into a bar and they'll
get discovered.
They'll get discovered. Where here you have to go out and become a SoundCloud rapper to get found out about.
Right. But as far as talent is concerned, I think we got
big
it.
Pool. Yeah, for sure.
We got the big pool of people here that even like I was thinking about this earlier, where we were discussing about having this topic, and I was like, sometimes when I've played with some of our friends, and then I played with some of the bands that we got to know, I feel like so privileged to play in the same stage that they are playing, even if they're not a well-known. They're like some amazing players out there. I'm like, they play better than a lot of people that I'm listening on the radio. They play better than a lot of, like, the music is better than a lot of stuff you're seeing out there. Yeah. And so it's a cool privilege to be around them and to get to know them and to play with them at the same time.
What we talked about in the beginning is there's a band that you've never even heard of, and you watch them and you get blown away at how good it is. And when we play shows or we go out and watch these bands play that we've never heard or seen of, and like, wow, they are so talented,
right?
And that's a great experience, and it's usually for free because we just go to a bar and it's right there.
That's a good point. That is a point that me and Claudia were talking about over there. The reason I did not go in a lot of these places is because they all of them charge to get in. Yeah, which is awesome. I think I didn't go in because I remember, it's not that I didn't want to pay for this. It's just that I was in a limited. Right, I was in a very limited amount of time. I was trying to see as much as I could. Right. Was I there? If I was there, like, for a couple of days or something like that, I had no problem going in and paying $20 to get in and watch a show. Right. But obviously, that is so cool because all these bands are getting paid. All these bands are getting supported. Yeah. All these bands, and obviously you have to be, have your stuff together. Right. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, but at the same time,
a lot of get out there,
and a lot of the bands that we know are there. They have their stuff together, and they're so. I mean, that would be really cool to see here, where it's like you have to pay to get into this show and pay everybody their due, Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely venues where you get done playing and you can't even pay for your bar tab.
Yeah, we can have those, nights where it's like kind of like you're auditioning and maybe they're not,
Right.
You don't pay to get in to see them, but then once you prove like I see a lot of bands that do that, and then they're in a small venue and they're in a big venue, and it's like that band kind of belongs in a big venue where they should be getting paid. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
this is going to be a great podcast topic that we're going to definitely cover, because we talked about this in the past, where we want to talk about the scene and get other people's opinions on it. So was there anything else about the California trip that you wanted to add? Because I don't want to deviate too far.
Okay, I got you. I think I pretty much talked about that.
And you're not going to leave me again for a while, and
no,
nobody
good.
out there wants to hear
what?
just my voice.
I've had a couple of replacements over the last year. I think Matthew being one of them.
That's right.
And now Jeremy. And I think they did an awesome job. So I'm not that afraid of where it's going to go. I should be afraid that I'm so easily replaceable, but I'm not. I think it's also that they're able to come in and do that. And I do want to have... I was going to talk about Jeremy. I do want to have a later on, and we're going to do jiu-jitsu, because that's something that he introduced me to, and I just started. I'm a fledgling jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yep.
So
you're kissing the mat more than you should at this point.
Of course. But Jeremy's a blue belt, so
yes.
He's way ahead. So he introduced me to it, and I'm really grateful for it, because those are really cool guys, and it would be great if we do a podcast actually with our professor, Will. So, Jeremy,
we'll do a jiu-jitsu one.
We need to invite Will, and we'll do a jiu-jitsu episode.
And since this is coming out in the future, Jeremy and I would have already done the Spartan, and I'm sure we've already kicked its ass.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. When are you gonna? It's
this Sunday.
This Sunday. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are brave.
Since you heard it was last Sunday.
My body is still handing me receipts.
From
this trip.
Oh, yeah.
From this trip. Just jet lagged, walking around all day for 3 days in the desert and everything. I think my body can't take any. If I did the Spartan, I might die.
So if there's anything that I got from this podcast, it's that if a friend of yours calls and said, let's go to Coachella, you go to Coachella.
You go to Coachella. Yeah.
All right, let's leave on that note, and we'll catch y'all later.
All right.
Scotty and Rico make a podcast. 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 Scotty and Rico.